are you, Rich?
DP, how you been, man?
I'm good. I'm curious, when you get ticket requests, do people
Yes.
feel like you have tickets with NFL games?
Oh gosh, yes.
What do
Yeah,
you say?
And passes, parking, little parking. That too.
I like how people
Sure.
have a problem. Hey, thanks for the tickets, but do you have parking? Like a parking
Yeah,
pass?
they want an experience, Dan. It's not just tickets. It's the whole, it's a package.
All right. You guys
yeah,
have.
but you must get that too, though, Dan, all the time. You must get that.
I've gotten it already for the World Series, where people go,
boy.
you go to Wrigley all the time. You know people. And I go, I don't have any tickets.
Well, it's not just that. They probably expect that again, it's the experience. It'll be you and Kerry Wood and Sut doing karaoke somewhere, and in an apartment building that, the players used to crash in after the games. That sort of experience, I'm sure.
But also at the Super Bowl, people will ask, like, you got extra tickets? Yeah. Like, I don't have extra tickets. And then I'll say something like, oh, God, I just gave it away like 5 minutes ago. I had 4 tickets, and sorry about that.
Right, but you know the family I married into, my wife, and they're all New Englanders. So I kind of have every other year a built-in excuse that all my tickets have gone to my in-laws because the Patriots make it once every 2-3 years, and I'm already getting ready to use that as an excuse for Houston this year.
Well, they probably think, well, could we go to dinner with Tom Brady? I mean, you know him, right?
I'll bring McGinnis, maybe Brewski if I'm lucky. Yeah, I mean, but I guess, we're fortunate to do what we do for a living. It's interesting, though. I'm still staring at my phone to see people call to get tickets to tonight's Jaguars Titans still.
Nobody's calling?
I'm wondering if maybe I've got bad reception. I'm just looking for the voicemail to light up, Looking forward to that.
Maybe you get like a 45-42 shootout tonight.
That'd be great. But and two, just if I may, the Sunday night game this past week, to me, I loved it, okay? I loved that game. And I know it was unwatchable for a lot of people with the penalties that were thrown. But, with the flags that got thrown on offensive holding every other play. But to me, a game like that was so intense, and every down mattered. And then there was a little bit of a hot mess at the end that, and I loved, like, Al Michaels' call was so spot on, and Collinsworth could do nothing but tackle as Hauschka pulled it left. I mean, I love the whole thing. But if that was a Thursday night game, people would be saying, oh, gosh,
you're right.
There's too much football. This is terrible. The guys are tired. It's too much. I mean, so it was a little bit of a double standard when it comes to Thursday night. And tonight I am hoping for a little bit of a shootout. Mariota has got some obvious game. Bortles has been a thorough disappointment this year. And, and that division is up for grabs. I mean, that's all I've got right now. That's all I've got.
I still think that if you get to a point where you're ending up with a tie, then you just have a shootout. And it's just, you kick from
what would it be?
35.
Like a skills competition?
No, you go 35, and then he goes 35. And then you go 40, and then he goes 40. And then you go 45, and he goes 45.
Oh, you mean just a kicker?
Yeah.
Like a kicking contest.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, just have a shootout.
And can Bobby Wagner jump over somebody to try? Because that'd make it more interesting. I mean, that was incredible. I did you like that game? Because I really loved it. I wanted an ending. I wanted somebody to win or lose because it's so important in that division. And I just, whoever was going to win, I wanted to have it completed. And it always feels like, why do we stay up for this? Right. And also for those like us in our profession, now it forces us to do math later on in the season. And we don't want to do math, and it'll be one of those things, too, where you forget that there was that tie and talking about the division. And it is important, though, I guess that Seattle didn't lose. You'd rather not lose a road game. But I just thought, again, it was just terrific defense on display. Every first down mattered. David Johnson was a man in that game, and the Seattle defense proved to be, I think, as good as it was in its Super Bowl season. I really loved that, but there was definitely a double standard that, again, if that was a Thursday night, people would be complaining.
He's Rich Eisen from the NFL Network and the Rich Eisen Show. You can see on Audience Channel 239 DirecTV. What happened to the Jaguars?
I don't know.
I thought this was the year where they at least took that next step, and then maybe the following year we looked at them as a playoff contender.
Yes, there were two bandwagons this year that were, asking people to get off for future bandwagons, and it's that one and Oakland's. And Oakland has proven to be a really good team taking the next step, and Jacksonville's taking a step back. The two Allens, the Allen brothers, have been non-factors. Chris Ivory's injury, I guess, with that running game with T.J. Yeldon, that was supposed to be something, but Bortles has regressed. There's no two ways about it. The defense that's chock full of all these top draft choices, I guess, are just keep being thrown back out there on the field too much, and it just adds up to a dreadful record. They could be winless right now, and have been just brutal. There's no other way to put it. And Gus Bradley's gig, one would believe, is on the line. I don't even know if you could say that about tonight. There's an argument you could make that tonight, with a mini bye coming after this, that they might make a move.
Are the Lions the Cubs of the NFL?
What do you mean by that?
That they haven't won?
There's that.
Because the Browns won in the 60s. They won championships.
Yeah, the Jets have their Namath year.
Yeah. Who would be the Cubs?
That's a good one. That's a good one. The Lions would definitely be that. I'm just going in my head right now. Because the Bills even had their championship years in a dynasty, which I definitely would call them a dynasty. Wow. Chargers are up there too. But the Lions are one of those kind of restore the roar years and had. I mean, would Barry Sanders be their Ernie Banks, right? I'm trying to continue this analogy. I like it. They are. But still, even if the Lions made the Super Bowl, I don't think you'd see the same passionate reaction from their fan base as well as the rest of the country kind of rooting for them. But that's as close as you can get. I think that's a good one.
But the reason why you have this love affair with the Cubs is because of WGN, that you were able to, before the proliferation of baseball, cable, that you had WGN and you had TBS. Those two channels made you a Braves fan or a Cub fan, and you could be in any other state. And to have that, so everybody knows your story. Not everybody knows the line story.
Yeah, you're right. Marshall Faulk talks all the time growing up in New Orleans how he's a Braves fan because of TBS.
Yeah.
Kurt Warner is a huge Cubs fan living next door in Iowa, and I think WGN had a lot to do with that. And also, look, Harry Carey, on WGN. By the way, a great spot with Harry a couple days ago on your show, Dan.
That's Fritzy. Fritzy booked him.
Get.
Yep.
It's a great get. Fritzy's Ouija board, whatever you did to hail him. That was great. Where he called in talking about the Beechwood aged bud. That was great.
Now I have asked Fritzy to track down people who are actually dead, and he did try to get a hold of him. He never gives up. Who was it, Fritzy? Sugar Ray Robinson?
I think I invited Sugar Ray Robinson, and his widow, unfortunately, told me that just was not possible.
Unavailable.
Definitely unavailable.
Unavailable. Not available. In N.A., you got back from the family.
Could he do it in the third? Then I pushed it. Could he do it in the third hour then? If not the second hour? Is it a timing thing?
Not available. Oh, okay.
Not available.
Cell service.
Harry was a great spot the other day. That was great.
Thanks. Have fun tonight, as always, and sell it, man.
Thanks, DP.
Sell it.
Hey, let me ask you this question. Do I have a couple minutes here?
Yeah. All right.
All right. Next week, Thursday Night Football moves to the family at NBC, Dan, and I look forward to seeing you out there in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, I'm not part of the team there. Yeah.
Now hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Because, Bob will be there, Al, Chris.
Yep, all the great ones.
Tony and Rodney.
Yep.
How did the hall pass come about, Dan? How did that one?
I just said, look, I can't leave this audience. I can't leave the Danettes. And you're just going to have to get somebody to fill in for me. So they said,
okay,
all right, they'll find. They didn't argue much. They go, okay, all right, fine, we'll get Bob.
Wow.
Yeah. That's all. That's it.
So they go to the.
I don't think they went to the bullpen, but
no.
Now Bob is.
But, I mean,
Tirico,
okay.
yeah, we got the whole crew there.
Tirico's right. Is he? But he's doing.
I don't know
Sunday
what he's doing.
Part of it, right?
I don't know what he's doing. I think they're sending everybody there. Men in Blazers. They're sending Doc Emmerich. I mean, everybody. Everybody's going but me.
So when Otto Bolden shows up at halftime,
Matt Lauer. The only guy not showing up is Billy Bush. That's the only guy. But he did ask if he could be a part of the program, but he's not going to be there.
Oh my word! All right, well, I'll say hi to everybody for you.
All right. Well, have fun tonight.
All right, team.
Thank you, Rich. That's Rich Eisen, the NFL Network.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.